As the story begins, we see a bad doll being healed in strange iron hands. Here, a little girl gives a doll to her mom, which we saw being healed in strange hands. The doll was the same as her face, but she had buttons on her eyes, and a stranger had sent this doll as a gift for Coraline. That girl came to a house 150 years old with her mom and dad. Her dad tells her that this is a very old house. You see it, you will definitely find something interesting in it. Doing all this, she really finds a small hidden door in her house. When she opens it with the help of her mom, the door is closed from inside. But as soon as night falls, the door opens with magic, and some rats come out of it, which take Coraline inside the door. And as soon as she went inside, she was seeing a new world like her own world, where there was another house like Coraline's house. In that house, a woman like Coraline's mom, who had buttons instead of eyes, was cooking for her, which her real mom must have done some time ago. And in the same way, the button-eyed Coraline's dad was playing the piano for her. This strange world was just like her dream world, where she always wanted her mom-dad's love in their time. Here, all her wishes were coming true. She was getting mom-dad's love. She was getting delicious food, but she was very worried about her eyes. She tells the button-eyed woman that you can't be my mom at all, to which she gets the answer that they are her other parents. Coraline falls asleep. After that, her mom takes her to the room. The room was very beautiful compared to her real world. Before going to sleep, she gives the medicine of her energy to Coraline, and when her eyes open in the morning, she finds herself in her real world. She was starting to consider everything that was happening to her as her dream, but seeing that her hand's allergy was cured, she realized that whatever had happened to her was true. Now she tells her mom-dad everything that happened at night. When she tells her mom-dad everything, they also take her words as her dream. After that, she goes to her neighbor for some work. A man hanging from the roof asks her, "Did you see a small door in your house? Did you go inside it?" She thinks about it and tells him that the door is closed. That man tells her that it is very dangerous for you. You should take care of yourself. While going to another house, two women talk to him. In the coffee cup, she reads his future time and tells him that you will have to prepare yourself for the dangers ahead. This was bothering Coraline, because two people had told her to stay away from dangers. On the way home, someone starts following her, whom she catches with caution. But he was also her neighbor's son, who was telling her not to go to her neighbor's house, that my teeth never let me go to their house, because she thinks that these women had made her sister disappear, and it is her job to make the children disappear at night. Coraline keeps cheese on her door so that the rats come to her room. While following them, she can go back to the magical world, because she liked that world very much. When the button-eyed woman tells her to call her dad from the garden, she was surprised as soon as she stepped into the garden, where the birds show her the way. All the flowers begin to bloom when she goes ahead. Some of them used to work to give light, some used to play with Coraline. Not only this, where she looks up at the garden was also made exactly like her face. And this is what she gets from her neighbor's son. But the strange thing was that in her eyes, along with the button, her face was also stitched. The next day, when she was coming back to this world, a cat saw her and came with her. And after seeing all this, in distress, she says to Coraline that you are trapped in their world. All this will end in 2 days. Every visible thing is not real. Coraline. During these talks of hers, the button-eyed woman sends Coraline to see the circus, where the circus was her real world neighbor. At the beginning of the story, the man who was hanging upside down, he shows Coraline the dance of rats, and the pink ladies themselves dance. When she comes back to this magical world, the cat says to her that Coraline, you are doing very wrong. You are going to be in danger. She catches a rat to make her understand. When the rat was caught there, it changed into a strange creature. Then she calls Coraline the button-eyed woman, who tells her that if you always want to live with us in this beautiful world, then you will have to put a button in your eyes. Now everything was open to Coraline. She had also understood the cat's point, so she had an idea that she could not easily refuse to put a button. So now she tells her that I am sleepy now, and I will sleep now, and I will put this button in the morning. When she goes to the room, saying everything there, she asks her that where are your buttons, on which she scolds everyone and says that I will get out of here. Intention, she was not even sleepy. She says to herself, and finally after this attempt, she went to sleep. But when she woke up in the morning, she was not at her house as usual. She quickly thinks of going out of that small door from which she always used to come here. But the button-eyed woman tells her to hold it here and put a button on it. And on the refusal of Coraline, she imprisons her in the dark world, where she met many children like her, who were imprisoned in the greed of all these things. They say that after putting the button, that woman ate us and imprisoned our soul here. At the same place, she also meets her neighbor boy, whose face was stitched. When he opens his mouth, he tells her the truth, and with his help she goes to her house. But there was a big problem that her parents were also missing from the house, and she was definitely imprisoned by the button-eyed woman. In this problem, she asks for help from her neighbor, who gives her a glass of 100-year-old candy. So she went back to the magical world to take her parents. And going there, that button-eyed woman, who had now come in her real form, Coraline tells her to play a game with me. If I win, I will take all the children's souls with my mom and dad from here. The game is that to find them, you will have to give me some hints. And if I lose, then you put a button in my eyes. That woman agreed, but she cheated and gave only one hint to Coraline instead of giving 3 hints. Coraline had to find everyone's eyes, but she did not know where and how. She goes to the garden first, which was now a beautiful garden. With the help of her glass, she had found one eye, and here that I tells her that you have found me, but you still have to find 2 more eyes. Coraline says, don't worry, I will do this job very easily. And after all this, she goes to the magical world to the pink lady's house, which was a strange creature here, and she had an eye in her hand, which the pink lady catches as soon as she takes it. But she also cleverly hits her light on the roof, calls the guards there, attacks the pink lady, and runs away from there. Coraline goes to the circus man to get the 3rd eye. Now she takes the 3rd eye from the circus man, and as soon as she was coming to her magical world, she was seeing the shadow of the button on the moon, and when it was completed, the world began to break. And with that, she had known that her mission time was over. When she returned, the button-eyed woman asked Coraline, "Yes, tell me, is your mission complete? Would you like to put this button in your eyes?" To which Coraline says, "No, I have got the eyes." Hearing this, the button-eyed woman was very surprised. She asks Coraline for the eyes, but Coraline was also very clever. Before giving her the eyes, she says, "Come on, first open the door outside, then I will show you." Here, Coraline's cat had also found her mom and dad, whom this button-eyed woman had trapped in a mirror. Coraline was about to run away with her mom and dad while being attacked by the cat, but as a result of her betrayal, the woman traps her in her web.it was difficult for her to get out of it. But she does not give up and brings her mom and dad home and breaks the mirror in which they were trapped. Finally, Coraline won. She had saved her mom and dad. She was very tired in this whole mission, so she goes to sleep and puts those eyes under her pillow. As soon as she sees, her roof lights up. The souls of the children she had freed were all saying thanks to her here. But then in the morning, she gets all those broken eyes, which meant that the threat was not gone because now she had the key to enter that magical world. And now when she went out of the house, her hand was following her, which we saw at the start of the movie. Fixing the doll. Actually, this hand belonged to the same woman, and that magical doll was also sent by the same woman to Coraline. Here, a friend of Coraline breaks this hand, and they together drop that broken hand and the key in a pit. That is, the story of that magical world was now closed forever. And at the end of the story, all her neighbors and everyone in Coraline's garden were putting flowers and having fun. Coraline and the little boy were good friends, who end the story by showing this.